Thank
And
you,
I
guys.
finished them, by the way, and I put that in the
I don't want to
chat.
talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I told you not to watch it. You guys want to watch it?
Yeah, yo.
That's on you. I told you not to watch
I
it.
still
Now your
liked it.
brain is scarred. Now your brain
My
is
brain
scarred.
is scarred.
Don't like it.
There's a bunch of articles about how people were like, yeah, this is probably a little too far.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't think so. I liked it. I'm one of those, honestly, that's gonna have to say, I thought this was good.
Eh.
I think the show is good. I think that episode
That's what I mean.
that
I just
that
think,
episode is a little too far. Because like I
but
understand
Stan,
it kind of
it's real
it
life.
I get
shows.
it, but you didn't have to show it that way.
Well, how would you
Yeah,
like people to show it? Because obviously it's not clicking with people when people say to you, oh, that was 100, that when people go, oh, that was 500, 600 years ago, mind you, they're wrong. But how do you feel? Sometimes you need to remind people that this was not 400, 500, 600 years ago.
I think we all know the struggle, but it's just like we at a point. I
it's
think we're at a point in history where we don't want to see the struggle no more. Like we want to prosper
or even
and stop
even
showing our
even
fucking
I get
trouble
it.
on TV. Like stop doing
I
that
think
shit.
that's what it is. It's like you're saying. It's like there's this level of trauma porn. It's literally
It's too
that's the
much.
only
Like I'd rather
that's the
watch.
only purpose
I
it
like
serves.
that's why I like the Michael B. Jordan movie that's about to come out because it has nothing to do with black shit. It's a straight Tom Clancy shoot 'em up movie.
Mhm.
That's what we need. Like we need to be like we regular. Why do we always gotta be trauma filled movies and shit?
I think because for
There's enough
what's really
trauma.
going
There's
on
enough
in the
trauma in real
world
life.
right now, the world that we live in, sometimes
Man,
you have to let people
everybody got
know.
look at Captain like fucking the Falcon and Winter Soldier shit. They going to
Yeah.
black shit. Like everybody going to, but they black shit need to happen because the Captain America was black. So I'm glad that they did do that.
Right.
But
Right. But
like it didn't
but
go they didn't
why
go
do you
crazy
feel a
deep.
way about I get that. I get what you're saying about you want to move forward and you want to.
Because there's way better stories. Like look at Insecure, right? Insecure is fire. There's no black trauma in Insecure. It's just regular shit, regular hood shit.
Maybe it's not black trauma to you, but to
It's not.
someone
Look
else.
at but we used to have those things, and they took those things away, and now they just want to show trauma. We had Friday, amazing. There's no black trauma in Friday. It's a happy movie. You understand what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
we had those movies, those comedies that come out. We had them shits, and then they want to fucking give us black trauma every fucking day. I'm tired.
But did you ever think that in this case, in this state and day and age that we're in right now, the case, like with everything that's going on, that you don't think that this sometimes is a perfect way to pitch how
No,
the world
fuck
really
that. No,
is?
fuck that. If you're gonna pitch black people as being a part of the place, show black people in the good light. Love and Basketball, The Best Man, like movies like that. Show black people in a good light. You don't have to put. It don't have to be trauma behind it. White versus black all the time. It don't got to
But
be all
it's
that.
Like
not.
the thing,
See, but that's my
the
point.
issue
It's
that I
not
have
black. Oh,
with
my
it.
bad. Go ahead.
Okay, the issue that I have with it is like, all right, you know, we know these stories, like it was saying, but it's like why do we have to? I don't think we need the element of horror mixed in because we already like these people. There are people still alive now that live that those kind of stories. Like the think about it. At some point, there was a family, the first black family to move into Compton when it was still white was still a thing. The
That was
neighborhood
an
I used to
actual.
live,
That was based on events, actual events.
So
right.
that's what I'm
I
trying to tell
there's
you
like
guys.
you look at my mom's neighborhood when we moved there in the 90s. Like I was like 9, 10 years old. The first thing I did was research the neighborhood, and not even like 15 years
Yeah,
before we
but
moved in,
even
they were
still, like
firebombing houses there. So like
even
we live these
movies
things. We don't
back
need to see
then,
them.
like movies back then, they never did no shit like this, like that.
What do you mean?
I
Like
mean, like
Pam
no, I
Grier
mean,
and Shaft and all those shits. Those movies are not portraying black people in the light that they're portraying them now.
What do
Even
you
those movies,
mean?
Superfly, The Pimps, all
What do you
those black
mean?
exploitation movies.
Racism.
Hold
I
on,
get.
all those black exploitation movies put black people in a positive space. It wasn't even in a negative space like this. I just see all negative black
That's not
movies.
true, because if you really watch the Shaft and the Pam Grier movies, racism did exist.
No, they did, but
there.
they spoke on it, but that's not what it was about. It was about Shaft kicking motherfuckers' ass and doing crime shit, like solving crime. That's what it was about. It's not about like, oh, we gotta. It wasn't about all that shit. Now it's all about that. Queen and Slim, look at that shit. Look at all the variations that come off of that. It's all
but the
black
variations is
versus
I
white
this
police.
is what I'm this is
American,
what I need people
like
to
what's that
understand.
American movie we watched the other couple weeks ago? Like all of it is the same shit. The
Nah,
shooting
I
of the
get
police,
you.
the running from the police are in the thing. The white
I
people
get you.
don't want
I
to
get
see
you.
it. Like stop.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. Majority of us collectively as a Black community, of course, we know about this, but majority of people are home watching movies and stuff like that. So what's the perfect time and the perfect pitch to show people history?
As a Black community already know white people, like we know this already. So let's show happy, like let's do a movie about.
I get what you're
so
saying.
many other movies you could do.
There are so many
There's
other
so
movies
many
that
other
portray.
fucking movies you could do.
Right.
Like, stop it, man. Stop. Like, let's do another Drumline type of shit. Like, I want that movie. I don't want that shit. Drumline is fire, Stan. Stop it.
Yeah, Stan, you're bugging.
Come on,
Drumline
remember
is
that
very
era?
good.
Drumline, you got served. Young Loving
Brown
Basketball.
Sugar, Brown Sugar.
All
All
those movies are dope.
out. That's true. That's true.
All those
We
movies
did
are dope.
have
They
an era
classic.
around that.
Hold on. Some of those movies are dope. Do we need another Drumline? I don't think we need a Drumline. I think we're good.
They did a Drumline. They did a Drumline too, and it was horrible.
Better,
like
even better. How about another Drumline without Nick Cannon? How about that?
No, they did another Drumline.
I'm not saying Drumline, Stan. Like they had,
no, they
like
did
Netflix had a movie called Beats. Netflix had a movie called Beats with Anthony Anderson and then the other kid, and he was making beats in his room. That was a great fucking movie. Roxanne, that was a great fucking movie. You can do movies like that. You don't have to do this Black trauma, police killing Black people bullshit all the time.
Did we review that?
Yeah.
That was I remember. Yeah, that was
okay. So here on out,
so
what you're saying is here on out, we need more uplifting Black films. Like
absolutely.
I think
Stop. We already know now. Y'all got your guilty verdict now. We got the guilty verdict, so everybody fucking knows now. So let's fucking uplift people. Like, stop it. Like, let's stop fucking reliving trauma all the damn time. Let's move on.
But it's not. See, this is where I have to come through, because it's not us reliving trauma. It's the trauma that just keeps coming to us every single day, and it doesn't go away.
But at the same time,
real life is the trauma. We
get
don't need to see it on the movie screen anymore. Like, let's stop putting it on the movie screen. Who the fuck? Because we're the only ones watching this shit. Obviously,
that's
the white people. Obviously, the white people ain't watching this shit. So, because they still doing.
Are you kidding me? The white people are definitely endorsed. You know how many people when my uncle and I went to go see 1912, there were mad white people in the movie theater.
1912, the movie is all about white people. What are you talking about?
No, the slave movie.
What slave movie called 1912? 1912 is the war.
No, not 1912. What you call it? The other movie.
12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave. Sorry.
I don't want.
I
don't like that.
There was nothing.
That's you. What you're missing the point, Chanel.
Hold on.
No, you said
Black trauma. But what I'm telling you is the white people that watch that shit. It's probably older white people, and they just reliving their glory years. They
no, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's how I feel at this point.
I know what you're trying to say, but I'm telling you,
I'm like, they made this shit for white people to get off on.
Yeah. I know what you're trying to say, but I'm trying to tell you, the white people definitely are consumers when it comes to our Black films.
When it's a brown sugar, or they don't watch that shit. That's Black people.
But I'm about to say, I don't know what I was about to say, I don't know what triggers them sometimes. I don't know sometimes if it's really to learn for white people to learn our history, or are they just doing it for their entertainment?
I think it's fucking porn to them. It's like porn to them. To me. To me, at this point,
I agree.
It's like fucking porn. Like, I went to see the Nat Turner movie in the movie theater.
But that's your opinion.
I went to see the Nat Turner movie in the movie theater. That Nat Turner movie that came out. I went to see it in the movie theater. It was me by myself. I was there, and then two other black people on his side, and then two older white people in the back. That was it in the movie theater.
And you know why more people didn't see that movie was because as soon as they were promoting it, somebody came out when he came out with that story about him raping them in college, and that movie tanked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I
an
don't
okay
remember. I think
movie.
it got
Black
pulled.
Klansman. Black Klansman. There was more black people in the movie theater when I went to see Black Klansman than it was white people. And the movie is not about black people. The movie is about white people. Black Klansman has had nothing to do with black people. It had to
But
do
that's
with the
one
Klan.
film out of the many.
Yeah, but that's black people hoping to watch a movie about a black person fucking up KKK niggas. That's why black people went to see that movie.
Right.
That's why white
and
people
that's how
really
I
didn't
feel
go
about
see that
people
movie.
watching Judas and the Messiah. That majority of the people that were talking were our people.
We're black people because white people, because it's about a black person uplifting themselves. When it's about that, white people don't watch that shit. White people don't watch that shit. But when it's a slave movie, when it's
I don't know. I can't speak
beating on
for
black
people.
when it's white people beating on black people in a movie and shit like that, when it's them and shit like that, white people watch that shit. They like it.
I don't know. I don't think
I saw 12 Years a Slave. I bet you did. You wish you was the fucking owner of that nigga.
I don't know. I think
man.
some
That's
people
how I be
probably do
feeling.
also, but that's not every white person. And I hate to like be that, but I think
look at
some
Harriet
people,
Tubman.
I think
That
no.
shit
What
was
I'm saying is,
nominated for
I
a
think
Grammy. I mean,
yeah.
was it Oscar, right?
Oscar.
Harriet Tubman. Harriet
I think some
fucking
people also
Tubman.
try to educate themselves too, because I definitely have encountered people. Hold on, let me speak.
Man.
I have encountered people who really watch some of these movies to really educate themselves, because it's so funny when people go, I saw someone on Twitter back a couple of months ago about the George Floyd trial, and some white person said, I'm just really trying to understand and really trying to comprehend, or if you could break it down. Someone said, just Google it. But sometimes Google is not the answer. Sometimes people really want to know, and if you could help educate them, then you should. Google.
I'm not for helping no
Google
white
is a
person.
generated operated
I'm not
system.
for helping no white person understand what the fuck is going on. They know.
But what if they are asking? Because this is where I have to
then they should look for themselves and ask the people around. Ask the black person on the street.
do the research.
Talk to black people on the street.
This is sometimes
don't just
this
fucking
is sometimes
do
this
your
is sometimes
research
why
online.
we as a community too, when it comes to politics and stuff, you want people to do the work, but they need us to be involved. You can't just say
I have white friends, Chanel. I do.
I'm not
and
saying
they
you
will
don't.
call me and ask me something.
But that's what I'm saying. We need more people, right? You just said they call you to ask you questions and stuff like that. So if someone genuinely really wants to understand what is really going on, why we feel the way we feel, or something, you can't just block them out and say, "Oh, go pick up a book." That's cool and all, because a lot of people, just like you said to me in the chat, a lot of people can read, but can a lot of people comprehend what they're reading? There are people just like that in this world. So if someone's asking you genuinely from the source on, can you help me and educate me? Why would you be up for a defensive? Why would you be so defensive to educate them?
I'm not defensive. I don't mind.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, why are you so defensive into saying just pick up a book? Anyone can pick up a book. But if you can really speak to someone and teach them and help educate each other, then it's supposed to be each one to teach one. Then why is it such a problem when it comes to a white person asking us about such and such?
I want more scary movies.
Because you know what? The way you're feeling about these films, but you know what? The way you're feeling about these films,
I want more monies. I want shit like that, man. I don't want fucking.
And you're saying that because majority of the directing departments are white people. So in order, how do you change that? How do you change that? You have to have conversations.
I have all those movies. Like I bought all those. I only buy uplifting black movies. I don't have a negative black movie in my fucking Apple TV. I don't. because I don't understand why people watch that shit. I really don't. Like I get it, but in context, like I don't understand.
I mean, when I have kids, I'm gonna show them roots. I'm gonna show them
Fuck
roots.
the roots. Fuck that shit. Like if I'm trying to like move past. Like, can we move past?
I get that. But okay, so if you
Like,
have a
let's
kid,
move
they're
past
walking
that
into
shit.
a world blind about not knowing about Black history.
They
Is that what
wouldn't
you're
know.
saying?
No, they wouldn't know about Black
So, but
history.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you gotta. I don't want nobody to use the history as a crutch. You don't use
Okay.
history as a crutch. You use it as a lesson and move forward. You don't be like, oh yeah, that we could do it because white people is against our blood. Like people always say that, but it's we done with that now. It's over. Let's go forward.
But it's over for you. But what about the
It's
people
over,
that
man.
live through it sometimes, and people who want to tell their story, and people who want to tell their story correctly? We
Tell
just
what
watched Concrete
story?
Cowboys. Hold on. We just
Concrete
watched Concrete
Cowboys is not
Cowboys.
had no white people in it.
Let me finish. We just watched
Only the
Concrete
cops were
Cowboys
white.
with real cowboys talking about the history of them being cowboys and them being Black cowboys living in
But
Philadelphia
they never said
predominantly.
anything negative about it at all.
I said but they're talking about how the white people tried to push them out. That's history within itself too. So,
But it wasn't. It's not a. It's not a. They could easily buy their lands and do all that shit. They could have did that shit, and that's why the movie was made because they failed to
right,
uphold their shit.
right.
They were failing
But that
to
doesn't mean
uphold their
that you
shit.
can't teach your child about there being Black cowboys and a history about Black
No,
cowboys.
you can't. You don't have. You can't. They can learn all that shit.
I just feel like sometimes I just feel like sometimes when people say, "Oh, we're,"
I liked that cowboy movie because
no, of course I
was
did
not
too.
nothing negative
No,
about it.
I get what you're saying, but you have to understand where I'm coming from too. I totally agree with you. I never said I don't disagree with you, but I feel like I'm 50-50 with it because I feel like sometimes it is a necessity to show these movies sometimes.
I think we have.
Because
I don't mind the movies, but I think we have enough movies. We could stop making them for a while. Like we can do one here and there. Like maybe we get a fucking we get a what's it like a Washington story or some shit that, like some shit like that.
like a Meteor Man.
I want more of that. Yeah.
That is one of my
But I'm
favorite
saying the
like
history
movies as a
pieces
kid.
can happen, but I
Yeah,
don't think it should like a Judas and Black Messiah was that was great.
warranted, right?
Yes. That could happen.
I mean,
I
I get
feel
what you're
like
saying. With them,
it's better. Like, all right, we do it after a couple years. Let's put one of these out. You know what I'm saying?
I think with
But
them
to have
per
the
se,
market saturated with police shooting movies and this and that, like, it shit is corny to me, man. It's fucking corny.
I get it. It's Black trauma. I totally get it. But I also think people forget that sometimes the history does repeat itself and that sometimes
Chanel,
you need to show.
Think about since Eric Gardner, how many movies where a black person and a white cop were made?
No, I get it.
Think about it. From then till now, it's fucking madness. It's like we have other stories to talk about. We do.
No, I'm agreeing 100%. Like when they did with Taraji and the astronauts and stuff like that. Like I totally get you. I'm 100% with you. But I always feel.
Either. I'm not gonna hold you.
Huh?
I wasn't with that movie either.
You didn't like that, but it's based on a true story.
I get it, but it was a white savior movie. That shit was bullshit.
But so you don't want, and actually,
the white
you don't
savior
want,
movie.
it's not
Green Book.
it's not
White savior movie.
How? Black people didn't even know that there was astronauts. When that movie dropped, I was shocked to see that Black people didn't even know that there was 4 astronaut women. Like, you know.
You're talking about Hidden Figures?
Yeah.
White savior movie for sure.
So white savior movie.
I don't mind the movie.
Hold on.
I don't mind the movie, but don't make it so that this white dude is the reason. They you know what I mean? That like you can make the movie in a way that doesn't make it that way. Green Book. Green Book is a great story, but the way they put, exactly, they lied and they made Like, oh, here's this white guy from Brooklyn that didn't say the N word and stuck up for a black dude. Like, like tell the story, but don't frame it in a way where it's like, oh,
Just be
I
real.
can't do I
Just be
can't do
real.
nothing without massa. Like, what the fuck? No, I'm with you on that. Don't like. I'm tired of the white chicken movie. I've been tired of the white chicken movie.
So what movie should be okay?
You can do
I
the
get it.
movie,
The
but just
black
don't frame it
cowboy,
that way.
the black cowboy shit, that was ill. That's an ill movie. It's real. It's had real black issues. They
Mhm.
saw like it had a like father-son relationship. That's a big thing in the black community. It's a good movie.
Mhm.
That's a good black movie. Period. There's no denying that.
Mhm.
There are movies like that. It shows. It shows every like you can show a movie that has history, that has problems, that had like and still uplifts black people. It doesn't have to be negative all the time. Nobody has to fucking get shot by the cops by the traffic.
I'm with you. It's a lot. I just think that at this, and you know what, like I said, I'm 50-50 with it because I sometimes think there's a lot of black young kids that's growing up in this day and age that don't know anything about history, which is weird and crazy that they don't know about black history. And the parents, of course, is at fault because these are your kids that you're raising and they don't know nothing about black culture. And so that's why I always sometimes feel like the younger Gen Z people, I feel like they are in such a, of course, millennial mentality and stuff like that, that they really don't know about
Yeah, and
history.
you guys know, but they do know, but you guys are regurgitating the same bullshit over and over.
You
There's
think they
good
know?
parts.
Because I
There's
beg
good
to
parts of black.
differ.
Let's make a movie about how they made chitlins. Like, do some different shit. Do some different
They
shit.
did. They had the barbecue movie.
Can I just point out too? Like, I think different people need to be telling some of these stories. Like the fact that Green Book was directed by a white guy, the fact that Hidden Figures was directed by a white guy. You look like we need not only do we need more representation, but we need more people
No,
more black people to step up and say
watching
these are the
them,
stories that we need to tell.
I agree with you on that because watching them, the producers and executive producers was all black, but the director was white. And I'm like, damn, like why don't we have more black directors? Like Tyler Perry's
We
the
have
only like
hold on. We have thousands of black directors.
Yeah, they're
right.
just not
They're
getting
not
They
they're
getting
don't
not getting
use them.
hired.
represented
No, they're not getting hired because
The
the
dude,
real
hold
because
on,
they're
let me tell
black.
you something.
the real
Mandalorian,
directors are in
the
our
Mandalorian.
communities.
Let me tell you something. The Mandalorian, the Star Wars show, the Mandalorian. There's a black director that does that shit. He's fucking phenomenal. He can do so many sci-fi movies. He just doesn't get booked for them. He just doesn't get booked for him. He did the
Right.
Mandalorian.
And
They
and
brought him
why
on for
is
the
that?
Mandalorian,
Why is
and
that?
it was every episode he did was fire. Every memorable episode of the Mandalorian, he's the one who did it.
But that's why I feel like the way if us as a black community want to talk about the way movies and stuff is depicted, then you need to put yourself out there. Like, but that's why I stand so heavily behind Issa Rae because she actually takes black creators from like communities and puts them into creative, like as creative thinkers for her shows, her movies and stuff. She actually takes your homeboy from the block who really from word around town is a great director. Instead of people just going off of popularity, they need to be looking at within. If we're trying to talk about black movies, period, you need to look at black creatives more now than ever who really are authentically out there in these streets that see what's up instead of going on with popular directors. But I also, one thing I have to say, it's about money. It will always be about money. The directors who are directing these black films have money. They are the breadwinners. And we do need to change that. So when Stan said that, I'm 100% with that. Because just watching them, I just was like, why don't we have more black directors, producers, executive, like directors, et cetera, et cetera. And we need more.
because the
But you know
industry has
why? It's
this.
because we're being shut out sometimes.
No, I'll tell
Majority
you
of
I'm
exactly
us.
talking
why.
about all the time.
I'll tell you exactly why.
All the time.
The industry
Why
has
can't
this
Ice Cube own Friday? It's a whole thing, man.
yeah. The
It's a
industry
whole
has
thing.
this. The industry has this like there can only be one sort of mentality. Like we're all the fucking Highlander. Why do you think there's only one really, really number? There's only one top black comedian at a time.
Why you think there's only one Michael B. Jordan type
yeah.
actor? Why you think there's only one Idris Elba? Like it's all the same. Why is the fucking Franklin from Snowfall getting all the fucking roles? It's the same shit.
They pick one, and then that's the guy. And then when that guy's no longer the guy, it's another guy. That's what they did.
And if they need a person in the background, Bokeem Woodbine is thrown in like all the time.
When people joke about Tyler Perry, I've watched from
Tyler
kids.
Perry's a beast.
Hold on. Let me finish. Since a kid in church, my church family, we used to go and watch Tyler Perry plays. So to watch that man go from plays and to actually see him still to this day picking regular black people for auditions.
That is Tyler Perry.
Still just one guy.
But that's one person. No. But the thing with Tyler Perry
but
is
I'm saying he's
Tyler
right,
Perry makes movies specifically for black people.
Yes, but he's always been that way, and that's what I need people to understand when they joke about Tyler Perry.
No, nobody should joke about Tyler. That motherfucker.
People joke at Tyler Perry. Some people call him a coon. Some people call him a lot of things.
At all.
But I'm only telling you what they say about him. But when you really think of someone who's really,
he's a legend. I went to the studios. He's a fucking legend. He's a legend.
I get it. I know that. And that's what I'm saying is that we need more Tyler Perry.
And made it into a film.
I know that. Man. The only person who I can also compare, who does a lot of black stuff is Oprah Winfrey. She has own network. Yes, she does. And
she don't own her network. She don't own her network. Her network is owned. Her network is owned by somebody else. Look it up.
Who?
Her network is owned by the same people who own Discovery. Her network is owned by Discovery.
It's hers.
No, it's her. She has it's like a subsidiary. She
I have to double check that.
She's owned by Discovery. OWN is owned by Discovery, or they sold it to Discovery because it's on Discovery. It's
because it was hers. It was her network,
NBC,
her business,
and it's part of the same shit.
But Discovery Incorporated is a majority owner.
Yes, she don't own that shit, bro. She
was
failing,
CEO, but
she was failing, and she sold that shit because it didn't work. It doesn't work. You can't build your fucking black shit off the backs of white people because they're not gonna let you.
That's what Oprah tried to do. So far.
That's what Oprah tried to do. All those white women that fucked with Oprah, they didn't really fuck with her when she started making more money and want to get her own network. Nah, we need to buy half of the shit.
I have to. If that's true, that's.
Oprah built her brand.
So Tyler Perry is the only black savior.
Tyler Perry is the GOAT. He's the legend.
Is the GOAT? Yeah,
he's a legend.
Or Issa Rae might be up and coming.
Let's see. I hope so.
Issa Rae. She just. I love her. Like I follow her. So I like when I say I follow her. Like I read stuff on her, and she's hired black creators from community neighborhoods to help pitch movie ideas and produce and stuff like that. That's why I like her so much.
You know what's crazy is like you're mentioning people, that do different things and everything, and this conversation started talking about because we were talking about them, and Lena Waithe is someone who I thought was gonna be one of these people who's like, gonna put people on.
She spoke to Spielberg and that probably fucked her head up.
Yeah. Honestly, because she was one of the people behind The Shy.
Yeah,
so I was like, okay, she's like the EP on that show, but then
she's the executive. She's the EP on this.
And right. I think Lena Waithe is dope. But I don't think she means harm. I don't think she means harm.
That's
anything.
what I said.
But
it's almost like they're using her to put her name on it so that people are like, oh look, Lena Waithe's behind it. And then here's like you're saying, like
the white people come in and say, "Oh, look." It wasn't just her. It's 4 black other producers and creators for the Them show. I found that out. It's not just her. There's 4 other black people besides the director being white. There's 4 other black people involved.
When you put a name like hers on there, people pay attention to that.
No, of course. But I need people to understand too that it wasn't just there were other black producers and executives also.
I don't like that. I don't like the show. I don't like this. I liked the show up until that fucking episode, and I was like, nah. Now they going.
Yeah,
Went too
I'm gonna be
far.
Like,
honest.
Even the episode,
I'm gonna.
even the episode after that with the fucking Jewish shit,
Oh
I
my
did not like that
God.
shit at all.
I
I
kept
didn't finish that.
cringing my hands.
I didn't finish it. I think I fell asleep while I was watching it, but like I kind of got a little bit of the same. Like it almost felt like that fifth episode kind of continued. So maybe it was just because I just watched it and it's still on my mind. But
Yeah, it's like they hit you again. It's like they hit you.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, that was.
I was trying to figure out where that's a whole different conversation. But like a lot of the guy that plays the husband looked really familiar. But
I can't see none of those white people in real life, man.
Bashy
I
is
hope
his
I
name.
never see him in real life.
It's wild, right? Because like the girl,
Yo,
that
all
main,
the white people in these movies, I never see like where they be at.
What are you talking about?
Like all the racist white people that plays like master slave owners in movies and shit like that.
This is called history.
Sometimes I don't see them. No, I don't see them in other shit.
He's talking about the actors.
Like I don't see them in other shit.
Allison Pill's been in a lot.
I think these actors on this
Allison
show.
Pill?
Who the fuck is that?
Sookie's brother was the crazy dude from True Blood. Yes, that was him.
The main white lady. She was in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah,
she was in.
I've seen her before. I've seen her before.
The guy that plays her husband, he was on Spartacus. They've been around. They've been around.
And the other dude who got his leg broken, he was in another.
Talking about that, but those are regular because they never said nigger or nothing crazy and shit.
That's the thing that always
did
me out.
say
like,
that in the film.
As an actor,
yo, but
as an actor, right? As a white actor,
I'm talking about the white actors that say nigger on screen and all this shit. I don't see them in no other movies. I just see them in racist movies.
You ever seen? No, well, Michael Fassbender.
I don't think so.
Only Leonardo DiCaprio can play it. Somebody say a nigga, and he be in other shit, man.
Michael Fassbender. What are you talking about?
No white person should be
Magneto,
allowed
dude.
to say it.
Magneto.
Yeah, he said it a bunch of times in 12 Years a Slave.
Well, I guess.
I don't think they should be allowed to say that. Period.
In a movie, you don't think they should?
It's a period. You want them to do history?
No. I'm talking about. I thought you were talking about on a regular day basis.
I'm just saying. I hardly see some of these actors in other.
But to jump on that
like
a little
bit,
that's always been my question with things like this, because I'm like, how is it? Like I'd love to understand the mindset of an actor, of a white actor, when like a producer or director or whoever, a writer, comes up to you and say, all right, here's the script, and you're reading it and you see your character has to say, like, what's that like? What do you?
No, it's nothing for them. They white. They just like, all right, fuck these niggas.
I don't know, man. I just feel like
I think they just be like, I think the director just goes, act like you're at home. And that's it. And then they go through
that's not correct. I don't.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. They be real comfortable.
It's an interesting.
No, I have a feeling they be probably sitting at that round table with the rest of the people feeling very cringe. It's cringeworthy probably to say it at a table.
Nah, I don't.
I don't know about that.
You ever see Mississippi Burning? They let niggas fly and that shit.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
they was so comfortable. Movie. So comfortable.
That's a very good movie.
Or like the guy, the cop. What, I don't know if he said it. Did he say it? The cop that shot the in Queen and Slim, the main cop.
No, he didn't.
I don't know if he said it.
He didn't say it.
He didn't. Okay, but I don't know. It just seems to me, it's like I would love to be, just to see how they react. Just to be like, what's your reaction to this? Like how do you feel about this?
Now in movies, when the white person says nigger in the movie, today in the new movies, they make it like a big thing. Like, oh, he said nigger. Like in this movie when she was like, you nigger or whatever, and then the black lady had to stop and turn around and smack her in the face. Like they make it a big fucking spectacle now. So that's like a bullshit scene to me. But like when the real shit, Mississippi Burning, those movies when they were just letting niggas fly and they were just talking regular, like how like they're at home.
Or like in any
I'm like,
Tarantino
those
movie?
actors, where are those niggas at? Where are those actors?
Or like in any Tarantino movie?
I don't know, you guys. I'm gonna have to beg to differ when it comes to that.
I like Django.
Not just look at how about Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction's crazy.
Pulp Fiction definitely had the N-word in there,
Like Quentin
especially
Tarantino
when
literally
they
had a
were.
line where he says, "What he goes, is there a sign above my?" Quentin Tarantino's low. Like, I mean, look,
He's racist.
I do love his movies, but goddamn,
I don't
yeah,
think he's racist. I just think he don't have no
He don't have a
he
wall.
doesn't.
He don't have a
Yeah,
He don't
filter.
have a
yeah.
wall.
He don't have a
see that.
filter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He doesn't
it's
have.
just
I
like
don't mind
to him, they're just words.
Yeah,
Because like
certain
for him
things,
to
certain people you could
the first
tell,
time,
and certain
the
people
first
is
time,
like, all right.
the first time I saw, whatchamacallit, the first time I saw Pulp Fiction, I was what 12, and like,
Yeah.
and he's like, is there a sign above my garage that says dead nigger storage? I was like, is he? Can he say that? Like nobody's gonna check him? Like he's what about the first time he did a scene with like Samuel L. Jackson?
No,
I mean,
but
like how do you,
he's referencing old movies. Like if you watch old, like I watch old black exploitation movies. They be
yeah,
white people be saying nigga in that
they
shit.
did.
Yeah, when
watching,
just think of like To Kill a Mockingbird.
Because that's what it
They
was back in the day.
not only in
Yeah.
the book but in the movie, it's flew out there every single time.
yeah,
So white people saying it. Like
Right. But and that's a classic old film. You know what I'm saying?
but I don't like those movies back in the day. They really talk like that. So when they talk in regular, I get it. There's certain ones like it's just certain movies I see like who are these actors like.
All right. So basically, here's where we need to be more vocal. I guess is we need more uplifting films from here on out. We need to stop thinking about traumatic films, at least with everything that's going on. Make more uplifting films.
This is. I'll cut this in half. This is our them review.
yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. I'm with that.